Hey, what's up guys? Ryan here from ExtremeTerrain, and today I'm here with the HDX Drop Nerf sidestep bars in textured black, fitting your 2018 and up 4-door Wrangler JL. This is for you JL owners that are looking for a high quality set of sidesteps that are easy to install to gain some rugged looks on your off-roading rig. It's a great way to change up the look of your Wrangler, of course add some aggressive styling and some additional protection as well as some functionality. Now of course there is a ton of options to choose from in the aftermarket and on our website. Options for drop side steps are going to range anywhere from $150 on the lower end of the spectrum all the way up to over $1,000. Now Westin makes an incredibly high quality product and their pricing is coming right in the middle, right around $600. This makes this a great option to go with if you guys are looking for an excellent option that's really not going to kill your wallet and of course is going to look great on your Wrangler. And that's going to give you some ease of access entering your vehicle or reaching any cargo that you may have stored up top. And this is really going to come in handy for you lifted guys because of course your Jeep is a lot taller. Now, these have a very aggressive angular design and that's really going to set them apart from the rest. Now, these are an award-winning product and they have a very nice footwell giving you 2 inches over the competitor. They have a very nice die stamp textured plate and this is bolted on. That's going to give you maximum traction when you're stepping up on that, and this is also removable, so that's going to make it very easy to clean. Now these are a solid one-piece design. They're going to give you plenty of protection, side protection for that vulnerable rocker panel, and that's going to make them an excellent choice if you choose to go out on those trails. Now they are going to give you some side protection, protecting you from any of those irritating door dings, wayward shopping carts in a parking lot, and they're going to handle moderate trails. Now of course if you are rock crawling, you're going over large obstacles, a drop step is not going to be your ideal choice because obviously that drop step might get caught on something and that's going to hang you up when you're in the trail, and that's not something that you really want. Now these are coated in a nice matte black textured black powder coating. Of course it's going to add to the aggressive rugged styling of your Wrangler, and it's also going to provide maximum protection for this particular item, and you're not going to have to worry about corrosion issues and of course fading later on down the line. Now as far as installation goes, these are a direct bolt on. They utilize factory mounting points and they come with brand new hardware. So all in all, I'm going to give them a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, as you can get this set of steps installed in about 2 hours just using basic hand tools. Now overall, if you're looking for a high quality side step, you're not looking for a rock slider, you're really not a fan of tube steps, and you like the way that this is designed, honestly I'm here to tell you that this is a high quality product. It fits great, it comes with brand new hardware, and it looks great on the Jeep. So with that being said, let's hop into the install so I can show you how to get these on your Jeep. Tools we use for this install: 3/8 drive impact, 1/4 inch drive ratchet, 1/2 inch wrench, 1/2 inch socket, 10mm socket. Alright guys, so before we get started with this installation, there's one thing that I like to mention. If you do have factory side steps or those Rubicon rails or any other side step, of course you're going to have to take those off. These will not work in conjunction with that. Now once you get those off, you're ready to install these steps. Now before we actually get the actual step installed, we're going to be installing these brackets. So you're going to get a ton of these brackets. And one thing that I would like to mention is these are labeled, however these labels are very delicate. So when you pull them out of the bags, make sure that you place them right exactly where they go, because these things are going to fall off and you're not really going to know where they go. But you can check, of course, this video or the instructions to get an idea of exactly where these go. Now this is going to be one of the supporting brackets. This is actually going to bolt underneath of the body. And then we're going to have these other brackets here. These are actually going to attach to the pinch weld. So with that being said, I'm going to go grab some hardware and a creeper and we'll get started. All right, so now that we're under the Jeep, you can see exactly where these brackets are going to mount. They're going to mount to our pinch weld. We also have pre-threaded holes that are in the body, and that's where this first bracket is going to mount. So we're over here on the driver's side. We have our DF because we are at the front. And this is going to be our longest bracket that they give us for this side. Now you're going to have 2 slots up here. These are going to be where the actual step mounts. So we want to use this single slot up here. We're going to place that up against that hole and we're going to install some hardware. Now as far as hardware goes, basically you're going to get all of this gold hardware except for the pinch weld bolts. They are going to be black, but they're also much tinier. So this is going to be the M8 bolt. We're going to put a lock washer and a flat washer on this. Lock washer is up against the head. We're going to go up through the bracket into this threaded hole. And all we're going to do is hand tighten this, set it in place, and we'll work on getting this other bracket installed. All right, so next we're going to install our pinch weld bracket. Now this is going to be this funky bracket. We do have these square holes up here, and that's what our bolts are actually going to go into because they are carriage bolts. We are going to slide this on the outside. It's going to go on the outside of our pinch weld. What we're going to do is we're going to place one of our bolts through there. We're going to make sure that that square head. On the back, we're going to do a washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. So we're going to do that to both sides, and then we will bridge both the brackets with a bolt. So same thing on the other side. We're going to go, bolt is going to go through the outside, We're gonna do a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. The reason we put the lock washer in between the washer and the nut is because it's actually going to keep that nut in place once we crank it down. Now to connect these two brackets, we're gonna be using that same bolt that we put up through the floor. It's gonna be our M8 bolt. It's gonna get a flat washer on the head. You can face this in either direction. On the other side, we're gonna do another flat washer. Then we're gonna do a lock washer and a nut. Once again, the reason we put the lock washer underneath of the nut head is that way once we crank it down, it's going to lock it in place. Okay, so then we're just gonna go down the line. We're gonna get all these brackets on. Next one we're gonna work on is the center one. You can see it says DC. So same thing, we're gonna start with that bolt going up through the floor. It's gonna be that gold M8 bolt, 8mm bolt, and we're gonna put a lock washer and a flat washer on there. Lock washer is up against the head. We'll screw that up into the floor, and then we'll get our pinch weld bracket on. So we're gonna take another one of those pinch weld brackets. We're gonna slide that into place. Once again, this is gonna go on the outside, and it's gonna sit on the front side of this bracket that we just installed. We're gonna take our black little carriage pinch weld bolts. We're gonna go through, pinch weld through the bracket, backside washer, lock washer, and then a nut. Now we have both of those in, we want to connect those brackets. Same thing, we're going to use another one of those M8 bolts with a flat washer on it. It's going to go through both the brackets. Do another flat washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. Then we're going to come back here, we're going to do our last bracket. Same thing, bolt up through the floor, threaded hole, put it in, hand tight. Pinch weld bracket is going to go on the front, also on the front side of this bracket, facing towards the front of the vehicle. And we're going to start with those bolts. All right, so next we are going to put our side step on. We are working on the driver's side, so you want to pick the correct one. And it would be a good idea to have two people. That way someone can hold the step for you while you get the hardware in. So once you get that step up there, you get someone to hold it for you. We're going to use those same bolts that we used for going up to the floor and connecting those brackets. You're going to use that M8 bolt. Each one's gonna get a lock washer on there against the head and then a flat washer. What we're gonna do is line up the holes in the bracket with the threaded holes in the step. So we'll get both of these bolts in, then we'll do our next bracket. And the ones at the very front are going to be in a recessed hole in the actual side step. So you're gonna need to fish it around a little bit, line those holes up, and get those bolts to thread in. So at this point in time, we have all of our hardware, and what we're gonna do is go around, tighten everything up, and we're gonna start with our brackets. So I'm actually gonna start with these brackets that go up to the floor. They are slotted at the top, so you can slide these in and out and get this step exactly where you wanna get it. I'm gonna pull these brackets all the way out, and then I'm gonna tighten them up. I'm gonna use a 1/2" socket on an impact to tighten up that top bolt. Next, we're gonna tighten up our pinch weld bracket. You wanna make sure that that is pushed all the way up and that it is touching the other bracket. That way when we go to tighten up this big bolt, it's not gonna have a huge gap in it. So we're gonna use a 10mm on a ratchet, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten up those two pinch weld bolts. So now we're going to tighten up the bolt that holds both of our brackets together. We're going to use a 1/2-inch socket and a 1/2-inch wrench. So we're going to make our way down the line, tightening up our brackets using that same process. Now to tighten up the steps, we're going to use that same 1/2 inch. However, we're going to use a wrench. All right guys, so now that we have this side completely on, you can use that same exact process to get the other side installed. However, that is going to wrap up my review and install. For more videos and products like this, check us out at ExtremeTerrain.com.